Hey everyone! It is time for us to start preparing for a trip that we have coming up in April, and I thought I would kind of vlog the process I go through to prepare us and get us packed for the trip. So my husband is actually leading a mission trip. He'll be going to Ecuador. Super exciting. But we decided that our daughter and I would travel up north to Minnesota to spend some time with my parents while he is on his mission trip. So we are about 3 weeks out from those trips. And so I thought I would kind of vlog my process. Of course, this will be filmed over a number of days, but just kind of film my process for getting us ready, especially for trips where we're flying with a baby. So our daughter right now, she is 1 year old. We have flown with her before. And I have actually flown with her solo once already, but of course I will be flying solo with her again. So I'll be including some extra tips and things on how I plan and prepare for that. So one of the biggest things as I'm preparing for the trip as far as packing and what we're gonna bring is keeping in mind that it'll be me carrying a baby through the airport with whatever luggage and whatever items we're bringing. So I don't wanna pack too heavy. I don't wanna find myself in a tough situation. So I'll kind of just share how I plan for that too, and what things we'll bring and what things I'll leave behind. So today is just step one. Like I said, we're about 3 weeks out, so it is time for us to get out our luggage at least. So I will start by getting the suitcases and things out of the garage, get them in the house. I usually pick an area where I'll start to gather and accumulate things so I don't have to leave everything till last minute. Of course, there's going to be some things that we still use on a daily basis that will need to be packed. So for those, I'll just make a little list, keep that in the packing area so that at the end I don't forget those. But yeah, let's grab those suitcases and start this process. Okay, so I got our suitcases out. I got the smaller carry-on one for Joshua and a little neck pillow for the plane, and then a larger checked suitcase that Alora and I are taking. And here's a little storage tip. Any of this stuff that you only use for traveling, like we have all of our packing cubes, our little portable hampers, these plastic bags. These are awesome if you have to pack more. They're the ones that go airtight, so you can put clothes and things in there and make them airtight and save space. But anything like that we actually store in our suitcases in the garage, and then it just saves room and space. But so I got these out. I'll be going through what we actually need, and then I also grabbed our car seat flying case. These things are amazing. I will link them in the description of this video. We have one for the stroller, one for the car seat. Since I'm traveling alone with our toddler this time, we're only going to take what's necessary, and that's the car seat. And then this is the bag that, excuse me, that I'm planning on taking as a carry-on, so I threw that out here too. Of course, I'll start to gather things, start to pack things, and I'll have to test everything out, especially since it's just me with our toddler. Need to make sure I can easily carry everything and that it's not too difficult. So over the next couple weeks, I'll just start to gather things right here, organize things, get us packed, and test that everything will work out. We are now 4 days away from our trip. So what I've been doing over the past couple weeks is just gathering all of the things that I could think of just kind of randomly throughout each day. If I think of something that we need for the trip, I would throw it in this area where I had laid out our suitcase and our travel bags. So that's what I've been doing. A couple tips with that. I try to, as I'm doing laundry and I know we're coming up on a trip, if I end up, with the clothes we want to take, they're clean, they're done going through the laundry, I like to gather them and so we don't dirty them again. Avoiding last minute laundry is very helpful, so that's something I start to do when I know we are coming up on a trip. And then other than that, any other thing that we don't use on a daily basis that I know we want to take or I think we might want to take, that gets gathered here as well. And then also what I've been doing over the past few weeks is making my list. A lot of times I will use the notes app on my phone, but once in a while I will revert back to a notepad and paper. That's what I did this time. I just felt like it was helping me organize a little bit better. So now, being 4 days out, what I'm gonna do, and a lot of times, depending on the length of the trip and how much we need to pack, a lot of times I like to do this about a week out. Just so I have extra time to do any last minute laundry if that is the case, or to gather or purchase anything that I realize we don't have that we might need. This time I was just a little bit busier this week, so we're now 4 days out. So what I'm gonna start to do is I'm gonna go through everything that I have gathered. I'm gonna start checking things off of the list and actually start to pack. Now, since we do still have 4 days, there are some things that just can't be packed yet. So my goal here is to get everything packed that I can. And then I will have the remaining list sit here with our luggage so that on the night before or the morning of, I can add the final things and we will be ready to go. One tip for the gathering phase when you're starting to get things ready is anytime you do laundry and you end up with clean clothes that you know you want to take on the trip, set them aside rather than wearing them again and leaving a lot of dirty laundry last minute right before your trip. It is now the day before we leave, so we are mostly packed. I want to take a minute to show you some of the specific ways I packed, some of the strategies I use, especially when flying solo with a toddler, kind of the way I strategically packed, hopefully in a way that will really benefit us. So I'll share a few of those things with you. I also have our travel day outfits set aside over here, so those will be ready tomorrow morning. On this particular trip, we don't leave our house until around noon to head to the airport, so I will have a little bit of time to throw in a couple last minute things, which you'll see at the end when I kind of leave everything. I'm going to set a little note on top of the suitcase, which will just be a quick checklist of all of the last minute things to ensure that I add into our bags. I have weighed our checked suitcase. Right now it is coming in under 45 pounds, which is fantastic because I do have to add like a curling iron and probably just a couple other things to it. So there is still some room there. Remember, you don't want to go over 50 pounds or you will be charged a fee. And plus it just gets really heavy. So we are looking good on weight. Right now I just use this Samsonite luggage scale. It is a manual scale, so you hook your suitcase here and lift it up and it'll show you the weight of your suitcase. We did have a digital one before that I ordered off Amazon, but it broke almost immediately and didn't work that well. And I just didn't want to try another one and have it break on us. So I went this route. So it might seem a little old school, but I will link this one below just in case you need one, or maybe like us, you tried a digital one and it just didn't work or didn't last. This is a great option. All right, let's start to dive into some of the specific ways I have us packed for this trip. So I almost always love to use packing cubes and these airtight Ziploc bags that you can seal. As I said, you can suck all of the air out of them. This really helps make things more compact and you can really get more into one suitcase. I did not want to check 2 suitcases for this trip. I wanted one for my daughter and I, so that's why you see toys and diapers and clothes. This is my toiletry bag. This is an awesome, it's kind of big because I do have a lot of toiletry stuff, but this is an awesome toiletry bag, one that unzips and hangs, and I just absolutely love it. I got it off of Amazon, so I will link that below in case you're interested. But this is kind of how I'll get that back in there. There's not a lot of strategies specifically with our checked suitcase other than using these airtight bags and packing cubes just to keep everything really organized. I will have the airtight Ziplocs and the packing cubes linked below as well in case you're interested. You really could go with one or the other. It might be overkill to do packing cubes and airtight bags, but I find it just easier, and I like it to be really organized. So for example, you maybe saw in some of my b-roll as I was getting things ready, but in this packing cube is 2 Ziploc bags of my clothes, so they're in these and then in the packing cube, but that just helps it keep, extra organized. But if you're only going to go with one, I say these Ziplocs or airtight, I might be saying the wrong thing, but just these airtight bags for packing, because they really shrink things down and you can fit more in or just have more room. So there you have our checked suitcase. The only other thing I'll show you is up in this top pouch. This is where I just tossed this scale because I will want to weigh again when we pack up to head home, just to make sure that we don't go over. All right, next we have our carry-on, and this is where I used a little bit more strategy, especially for flying with a toddler. Our toddler is almost 18 months, so about 1.5 years. And then this is my carrier, so I will wear this and carry her in this as we go through the airport, at least to get through checking our luggage and get through security and all of that. Remember, hands-free is the best way to go. Here towards the end of the video, I'll show you the plan for how I plan to walk around with everything. But now let's look at our carry-on. All right, I just changed my setup a little bit, so hopefully I'm not wiggling the camera around too much, but we're looking at our carry-on bag. And right on top, I have my fanny pack. And now when I show you how I'm gonna carry everything, I'm actually gonna wear the fanny pack for the first part of getting to the airport. The strategy here is that in Here, of course, is my ID. This is where I'll put a printed copy of our boarding passes, everything I need to get quickly as we go through baggage check and TSA. I want that to be readily available. So I'm gonna actually wear this. It'll be right off to my side as I'm carrying our baby girl in the front, so I can reach down and grab this easily. So I'll show you that here shortly. But I also want to be able to take it off and put it in our main carry-on bag once we get through TSA. Because remember, a tip is to have the least amount of things that you're carrying and having to keep track of. So I wanted to ensure that in my carry-on, there's a nice little spot right on top for me to throw the fanny pack once I'm done wearing it. So that's there. So the next thing I want easily accessible is our headphones. And in here is 2 sets of headphones with a splitter. I don't know if you can see it for sure, but it's just a splitter cord with a dongle that I can hook up to my iPad. Strategy here is I'm, like I said, flying with a toddler. We flew with her when she was, 6 or 7 months and then 9 months. And both of those times she just slept in my lap and was really content. But if you have a toddler, they kind of transition out of that just being content to sit there and sleep and nurse to where they want to play and run around. And so I have a couple strategies here. The first thing we're going to try is I'm going to try to get a window seat so she can look out the window and have some things to keep her attention. And then the second strategy, once she gets bored with that, is to hook up our headphones and play Frozen on my iPad. So my iPad will actually, it's not packed yet, but it'll go right in this back pouch. So I can easily pull out the iPad, pull out the headphones, get us set up so we can watch Frozen. So that's why this needs to be easily accessible. And just so you know some of my strategies for flying with a toddler. And I'll let you know, I do plan to vlog this trip, so I'll let you know in either the vlog or maybe in another follow-up video how it actually goes, but these are my pre-trip strategies and plans. The other thing that's going to be fairly easily accessible is this other bag that will have the other charging cords and things. Those are some of the things on my last minute checklist. So tomorrow morning when I'm done charging my Apple Watch and my phone, all those chargers and things will go in here. I want that fairly easily accessible in case I need to charge anything in the airport or in between flights. We do have a connecting flight, so that's there. And then the other thing that's easily accessible is the Ziploc that has a backup outfit, a few diapers in the middle there, and a pack of wipes. This is a strategy that I recommend flying with babies or toddlers, is that you want to take a Ziploc backup outfit, diapers and wipes in this Ziploc. So if you do have a poopy diaper or heaven forbid a blowout or anything like that on the plane, you grab this and your baby and head to the bathrooms. Of course, they are so small, so it'll be hard to just be fumbling through a bag and everything, but you grab this and then you can go to the bathroom, change your baby, and then you have the Ziploc to put the dirty clothes into, and then you don't have to worry about that getting everywhere. So you just Ziploc in those dirty poopy clothes in here and take it back to your seat. But that's the strategy. Hopefully that doesn't happen on the plane. My hope, these aren't super long flights, so I'm hoping to not even have to change a diaper at all on the plane because it's just too difficult. But you want to be prepared just in case. So that is right here, easily accessible too. So that was my strategy and what we need to grab. Now, another thing that's located at the bottom, I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but at the very bottom of this bag, we don't need this during the flight, but it is a small pack of our PJs and clothes for the first night. We are actually staying in a hotel near the airport the first night, and then the next day we will shuttle up north to my parents' house. And so rather than having to dig through everything that I have in our checked bag and all the packing cubes, I have everything organized. We won't have to open any of that until we get to my parents' house. And so that was part of the strategy there, that when we get to the hotel, I just have that separate. It has some nighty diapers, our PJs, and the things that we need at the hotel. So that is the strategy there. Oh, I just thought of one other thing to think about. Another good reason to have all of your, IDs and cash and money, anything more valuable in this fanny pack would be, like I said, if you do have to go to the bathroom with you and your baby on the flight, you can leave this under the seat. But if you're worried about anything getting messed with, you can take this, pop it around your waist, grab your Ziploc of diapers and backup outfit, and head to the bathroom. And this is more compact and just easy to have with you. So you can leave everything else. Okay, the next pouch kind of further in the front, this is something else we want easily accessible. This is our snacks. So I'm gonna try to avoid nursing our toddler. She still is nursing, but she's in that in between where she does eat a lot of solid foods now. And I don't wanna have to try to nurse on the plane. It's very different now that she's bigger, and I don't wanna do that. So we have to have snacks ready to go. That'll be something else that can keep her occupied. And just if she gets hungry, they're easily accessible. So I have a Ziploc. I just love to put things in Ziplocs, not only for organization, but then you have backup items in case you need like a trash bag or you have something dirty or something, you know, if you just need them. So in this first Ziploc, I have freeze-dried apples. These are a perfect snack for a toddler, and they are clean. It's just freeze-dried apples, nothing else included. So that is there. And then I do have a larger bag further down that we may or may not try to access on the plane. It might be in between flights, but then this one has a little more options. It does have more freeze-dried apples, but it also has these pineapple, cacao, kind of dried fruit leather strips, and then meat sticks. So hearty protein snack here just to keep us full, and then some fun other snacks if we need to access those throughout our trip. And then there's just some backup diapers in here. There is a little plain, really thin, but it's actually made for airplanes. I'll link it below because I just got it off Amazon, but it is a blanket for us on the plane if we get cold. It's thin, but it's very helpful. It's an easy blanket to have when you're on the plane. And then I think at the very bottom of this, I have like my Bible and another book, mostly just because I didn't want to throw those in the checked bag. I won't really probably need to access those during our actual travels. Then this very kind of top little pouch, this is where I just have a few of the random things you might need. A smaller pack of wipes that is easier to access than getting in the Ziploc bag if I just, you know, need to wipe something up and it's not a full-on diaper change. I have a little, just a little lotion and chapstick. The last like 3 trips we've taken, they have not asked for little toiletries or anything. I'm okay to part with these if, you know, they're not technically in one of those bags like they used to make us put them in. I'm okay to part with these if they make me throw them out, but they're just up here just in case. And then I have my electrolyte packs. Staying hydrated is awesome, whether traveling or not, but I have some just plain, and then I have some like immunity electrolyte packs too that have a little flavor. So those are in here, as well as just a few like doTERRA cough drops if throat gets dry or something, and then a little thing of mint strips. So just your random kind of necessities, but also just a few extra luxuries, you know, that might be good while traveling. And then in this very front pouch, I have more snacks. We do not want to get hungry, especially traveling with a toddler. So, you know, just by yourself, it's easy to get by, but not with a toddler. And I really want to, like, we could purchase food at the airport, but it's always so expensive, and to do all that can just be extra hassle when you are flying with a little one, especially alone. So I just brought more than enough snacks that we should be good. These are another kind of meat stick, so the protein is good. I have a little almond butter for myself. This one's probably too messy and not super easy for Alora. We'll see, but that's what's in here. So snacks shoved in a lot of places. And then there you have it, kind of my strategy for our carry-on to make whatever I think we're gonna need in the actual process of traveling. We want that to be easily accessible. And then the only other thing I have down here is our car seat travel bag. These are amazing. I will link them in the description. We have one for a car seat, one for a stroller. Since it is just myself traveling, I'm only taking the car seat because that is the essential, the necessary. But this is what, when we get to the airport, we'll throw her car seat in and we can check it with the suitcase. All right, let's get all of this stuff on me, or I'll show you how I plan to carry it all through the airport. So this strategy should work well. As I mentioned, I will try to film a follow-up video or just share in my vlog style video how it's going and anything that I wish I would have done differently. And yeah, we'll see. Hopefully all of this pre-planning helped. I always highly recommend, no matter what you are traveling for or who you are traveling with, I recommend to plan ahead and strategize and be prepared. But especially when you are traveling with infants and toddlers, and especially if it is just you and an infant or toddler, or multiples, definitely plan ahead, have strategies in place. Of course, traveling with little ones, you never know what could happen, but if you are prepared and you would plan ahead, it should minimize any stressors that could pop up, and it will really just allow you to have fun, enjoy your time making memories with your precious kiddo. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any tips or tricks for flying with little ones, or do you have any questions? Anything you'd like to comment, I would love to hear from you. Throw those comments below, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye!